Welcome back to my next playthrough series. This time, Zombicide Black Plague once again. We're going to be doing Quest 3, The Shepherds. I've got everything set up. I'm just going to read the blurb here. It says 6+ survivors. It's medium difficulty, I guess. Necromancers are everywhere. They're spreading chaos and seizing power in the whole kingdom. Against a menace this big, there's almost nothing we could do. Almost. We know we're good at survival as long as we stay together. Our plan is to reach out and find other survivors to create an army of our own. 4 days we've spent traveling to the next village, which is currently under attack but not completely overrun. Let's get into the fray and help these people. So our objectives are to rescue the townfolk. Keep an eye on them. Some of them are infected. You win the game when all objectives are taken. There's 7 objective tokens around the board, and they are the townsfolk we need to rescue. Hidden folks. Each objective gives 5 experience points to the survivors who take it, and there are some infected survivors. The blue and green objective mark infected people turning zombies. You earn the experience, then resolve immediately a zombie spawn in the objective zone. So when we flip these tokens over, as per regular, there's a green one and a blue one somewhere in the 7. They will be infected survivors. So we'll get an immediate spawn there. All right, what we're going to do very quickly, we have 2 vaults, and there's a random vault item in each vault. And we have, of course, the lavender vault here and the pastel yellow one on the board. We'll zoom into the specific areas as we move characters around and spawn and such. Let's take a look at the characters. So the story is unfolding. Of course, we've had 3 quests before this with Baldric's bumbling band of adventurers. We have Dame Alyssa joining us. She's basically from this village. She's been in the outskirts of the village. She was about ready to go in and start rescuing her friends and family when Baldric's bumbling band showed up with Clovis and Nellie, and of course Baldric himself. So let's take a look at our characters, and then we're going to get into a couple rounds of gameplay. And once again, I'm not sure how well this is focusing. It might be a little fuzzy, I apologize. So we have Dame Alyssa here. She is Lifesaver, which means she can pull other survivors out of zones that include another survivor and a bunch of zombies for free once per turn. She's starting off with a short bow, which hits on a 3+ and rolling 1 die, range of 0 to 1. All right, that's her. She can put a sword up in her armor slot if she wants to. And the little yellow dice with the stars on them just helps me keep track of which turn it is and who's going. So, and of course, I like to put the hit points at the maximum. On 3, I know they're supposed to be wounds, but I like to say she's got 3 hit points as she takes damage. Of course, they lose hit points, and then when she gets to 0, she's toast. All right, let's take a look once more at Clovis next. All right, on to Clovis. We know all about him. He's starting off with a short sword, hits on a 4+, doing 1 damage, rolling 1 die. But his special starting ability, he gets +1 die melee, and that's per weapon. So he will be rolling 2 dice, hitting on 4+ with 1 short sword. If he dual wields them, which would be awesome, he'll be rolling 4 dice. In case he'll get 1 die for each short sword and a + die for each weapon. So that would be really cool. All right, and he can put a shield up in his armor slot if he so desires. And that's about it for Clovis. We've seen him before in other playthroughs. All right, let's take a look at our last 3, Anne, Nellie, and Baldric. All right, we have Anne, the superstar Anne. She's, of course, the crazed nun. She has Bloodlust melee, which is her starting ability. She can leap into the fray and hack away at the zombies for a free melee attack when she moves up to 2 spaces to get up into the face of zombies. So she's also starting with a short sword. We know the stats of that already. And I'm going to make her, we're starting off her as the first player. So she's going to be taking the first turn. And how I do it is I play it as a solitaire. Well, I don't play it as solitaire, because solitaire, then you can pick the order that you want your characters to play. And I'm playing it as a 5-player game, basically. So Anne's going to be going first in the first round. Then when that's all finished and we spawn zombies, then Nellie, who's next, will be the first player, and we'll go sequentially through them as if we're playing 5 separate people playing 5 separate characters. All right, that is Anne. Up next, Nellie. And Nellie, of course, her special free ability to start with is +1 free move action, and she can only use that action to move. She can't use it for anything else. She's starting off with the hammer. It does 2 damage per hit. Hits on a 4+, rolls 1 die. She can put a dagger up in her armor slot. So can Anne. I forgot to mention that. So very quickly, that's Nellie. Up last is Baldric, the leader of the Bumbling Band. And here's Baldric. Purple, the purple mage. And I'm getting some glare. No, I hate glare. He starts with Mana Blast, rolling 1 die, hitting 4+, a range of 0 to 1. He can put a sword up in his shield or his armor slot if he wants. And he is Spellcaster, which means he can cast an enchantment or a combat spell for free once on his turn, and it must be used for an enchantment or a combat spell. All right, let's get back to the board, and let's begin Quest 3, the Shepherds. All right, so we are going to be starting off with Anne. Anne is yellow. She's right here. She's going to step right up front of this door with her short sword, and I should mention they get 3 actions when they are beginning level. They're all in the blue. They have 0 experience right now starting off this quest. She is going to be rolling a single die for her short sword, and she needs to hit on a 4+. And I will be using the funky dice tower. So does she knock the door in? Of course. This is Anne we're talking about. She rolls, of course, a 4, which does open, or smash open, I guess we'll call it, the door. So that was her first action. Now, of course, when we open up an area, we need to populate it with zombies. So we have 1, 2, 3 rooms here. We have an objective token in the 3rd room. So room number 1, let's take a look. We are in the blue. Nothing there. So the first room is empty. That's pretty good because maybe we can search for some items. The second room is a double spawn, which means the objective room here is going to get a double spawn. The first of the double spawns is a fatty. Okay, Nellie's going to have to take that guy out. 1 fatty, and holy crap, we get a necromancer. Holy man. All right, well, before I get confused here. All right, so we have a fatty showing up in here. This must be a necromancer's lab or something. We have the necromancer is in here, and not only is he in here, he comes with his own handy-dandy spawn point. All right, yay for the necromancer. Damn it. And not only does he come with a handy-dandy spawn, he also gets to spawn immediately, and he comes along with 2 walkers. Wow, so that was Anne's first action. This is problematic a little bit. Now we have a fatty, necromancer, 2 walkers, and an extra spawn point. Anne now has 2 more actions she can take. And what does she want to do? I think for her first action, she's going to move into this room. And then I think for her second action, she will indeed do a search, because we're going to need more than just our basic starting equipment. So she's going to do a search. Of course, there's no zombies in that room. And why not? She finds an ambush and place a standard walker in the room. Starting off great. Oh, and yes, I have added the Deadeye walkers as well. So Anne comes in here, does a little bit of searching, and out from somewhere comes another zombie. That's going to be the end of Anne's turn. She has taken her 3 actions. She opened the door, moved in there, and did a search. Wow. Up next, Nellie. Now, Nellie's got the hammer. Wow, this is a bit problematic. So it's Nellie's turn. She's going to have 3 actions. I'm going to think about this for a minute or 2, see what I want her to do, and then we're going to come right back. Well, oh man, I guess I wanted to do something completely different with Nellie, but of course the game has decided to spawn things that cause issues. Nellie's going to, for her free movement, she's going to move into this lovely little room with Anne, and for her first of 3 regular actions, she may as well smack at this walker with her hammer. Hits on a 4+. And she rolls a 2, which is a miss, so she might as well try it again. For a second attack, this time a 5. does indeed take out the walker. That's going to give Nellie 1 experience. And she has, so that was her free move, first, second. She has 1 action remaining. She will also do a search, same as Anne. Come on, let's get something good. And she finds a short bow. Well, all right then. She will put the short bow in her other hand slot. So now she has a hammer and a short bow. All right, when we come back, it's going to be Bumbling Baldrick. Let's see what he will be able to do on his turn. All right, we have Bumbling Baldrick, our leader here, fearless leader. His first of 3 actions will be to move here. His second of 3 actions will be to move here. His third action, he will do a search. And then he has spell casting, which gives him 1 free spell casting ability. So he finds, holy man, the Earthquake Hammer. Roll 6 plus die and plus 1 damage. Oh, if you roll a 6, you get plus 1 die and plus 1 damage. Well, we've got to give that to either Nellie or Anne eventually, but you have to be in the orange to wield it. Wow, okay. Oh, and I'm also not using noise tokens. I find them a little bit more of a nuisance than they're worth. So you'll notice I'm not putting a bunch of noise tokens down. Zombies are generally going to head towards our massed group of adventurers anyway. But Baldric has 1 more ability left. He has spell casting, so he's going to use Mana Blast, which is rolling a die, hitting on a 4+. Let's see if Baldric can live up to his name of never seeming to hit anything. He's going to fire into the room with a bunch of zombies in there. And, oh, wow, Baldric nails it. So he hits one of them. It's a ranged attack, so we have to go in targeting priority, which is Walker, Deadeye Walker, then Fatty, then Runner, Zombie Wolves, which I haven't added into this scenario, and the Necromancer. So the Necromancer is basically protected by the other guys. But one of these walkers gets barbecued by Baldric's bumbling spell, but he didn't bumble it. He actually did it. So he's going to get an experience going from 0 to 1. All right. And now we have 2 more characters left to go. Up next will be our new character, Dane Alyssa. And she, of course, has 3 actions. She has Life Saver, which she doesn't need to use right now because there are no survivors in any zones with zombies. What can she do? It'd be nice to kill this Necromancer, if at all possible. This is... we don't want to get stuck with this Fatty, though, because he'll do somebody a damage. But if we get stuck with that spawn point, this has already caused us problems. All right, Dame. Oh, man, what is she going to do? And she only has a short bow and no other weapons. Well, for her first 2 actions, she's going to go 1-2 with Baldric. She is then going to fire off the short bow into here, possibly taking out the other walker. So she's going to try that. She rolls a 4, which is a hit. Walker is killed with a short bow. And our new survivor for this scenario is going to get 1 experience point for killing it. Very quickly, that is the end of Dame Alyssa's turn. Up next, we have Clovis. He's out here in the street wondering what all the commotion is inside the building. And he has 3 actions, plus 1 die melee, but if he charges in here, he could kill the Necromancer, but the problem is he will then get hit by the Fatty for damage. And I don't think we want to take damage this early in the scenario where we basically have just begun. So Clovis is going to take 1 action to move into this room, 1 action to move into this room. All right, he's going to do that. For his second action, he will do a search. He's going to go ahead and do a search. This is his second action. What does he find? He finds a great sword. Oh, that's pretty awesome. So he's going to put the great sword. That's 5 dice hitting on a 5+. But you know what he's going to do? So that was his second action. His third action, he's going to do a trade exchange action with Anne. This is actually perfect, and he's in the same spot with Anne. He's going to give Anne the great sword because Anne is deadly. And he's going to take from Anne the short sword. Now notice this is a dual-wield weapon, rolling 1 die. So he now has 2 short swords, which is very appropriate to his miniature. And when he attacks now, he will be rolling 4 dice because he has +1 die melee, and that's per weapon. So this is really good stuff. However, that's going to end off Clovis's turn, and that will really end off, I think, our episode for today, because the introduction took a while, and this is also taking a while. I don't want to have really, really long videos. And so we're going to be ending off, of course, with doing the zombie spawning. So that's all of our characters now have gone. The first player after our zombie spawning in the next episode will be starting off with Nellie. So we're going to back the camera off a little bit, and we're going to get to zombie spawning on the spawn point. And there's just no way with the board the size it is for me to get everything in. So spawn point 1 is always going to be here. 1, then we're going to go 2 to the necromancer, 3 way over the board here, and 4 down the other side. So the first spawn point will be right here out in the street, and nothing in sight. Okay, that's good. That is good for us. Nothing in sight. All right, necromancer spawn point now is going to be 1 walker. Okay, we can live with that. That's not terrible. We'll get a walker. Now we have a walker, fatty, and necromancer here. All right, we're going to head over the board this way for our second spawn point that started the game. All right, for the second spawn point, we have, well, it's the third spawn point if you count the necromancer one. No one, so nothing's happening. Of course, everyone's still in the blue. Now we have one final spawn point down the board over here, so let's go there and have our final spawn for the episode. All right, our final spawn point down here in the south part of the board. What are we going to have there? We get 3 Deadeye Walkers. Oh, yes, of course. Our favorite, the Deadeye Walkers. And our archery crew here now of zombies has showed up, and they're going to be hunting us down. All right, and of course, I completely and 100% utterly, totally forgot to move the zombies. Oh my god, it's been a while. It's been months and months since we played this. Back to the top of the board, doing things out of order, I apologize. But we have to, of course, have the zombies activate first before we do the spawning. So we're going to kind of do it out of order. I left a note. Oops. And then we'll wrap up the episode. Of course, before we spawned, the fatty and the necromancer are going to move. Well, where are they going to move? They're going to move towards the most noise. Actually, the fatty's going to move towards the most noise, which is here. The necromancer is going to try to make his great escape. So he's probably going to head for this spawn point or the one across the board. I can't remember. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are equidistant. So he'll decide if and when he gets there. So he will move into this space. So now we have Baldric, and we have our new character, Alyssa, in with a fatty and a necromancer. And then we're supposed to spawn, which would then have triggered all the spawning. So I apologize for doing that out of order. We'll get it right the next time, I'm sure. All right, so this is Zombicide Black Plague. We're doing Quest 3, The Shepherds. We have Baldric's Bumbling Band, joined by Dame Alyssa. They are going to try and go in and rescue as many of the survivors in this city or town as they can. Yeah, and we will see what happens. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, your subscriptions, your likes. Really appreciate it. Join me next time for the continuation of Baldric's Bumbling Band of adventurers as they try and head around through Quest 3, The Shepherds, and rescue townsfolk. So thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.